Shamim Azad. Poet, storyteller, and writer. Poet Shamim Azad is the leading poet of Bengali language in the United Kingdom. Throughout her 29 years of immigrant life, she held Bangladesh very nearly and dearly in her heart. Poetry, drama, children's books, translations, novels, essays and short stories, all inclusive, her number of published books is more than 30. This talented multidimensional poet was born on 11th of November, 1952. Her origin is from Maulvi Bazar, Sylhet. Shamim Azad's notable books, Jubok Tomar Vobisshot, Moddhobritto Bodle Jacche, Dui Romonir Moddho Shomoy, Ranir Deshe Ronigin Beshe, Poket Vora Papri, 100 Prem Opremer Kobita, Boogie the Burgundy Cheetah, a Voxel Chorus, and British Bangladeshi Poetry. Awards. Shamim Azad received the Bichitra Award for Fashion Journalism in 1992 and 1995, and the Lifetime Achievement Award 2013 from Fashion Pachala in Bangladesh. In the United Kingdom, she won the Bangladeshi Who's Who Award in 2009, Channel S Community Honours Award in 2009, Tower Hamlets Borough Civic Award 2004, Abdur Rab Chowdhury Award 2004, and the Artist of the Year Award from Art Council. In 2016, Shamim Azad received the Syed Walala Literary Award presented by Bangla Academy. She is currently living in London, England. Flat -3, Roca Court. I have to write a supernatural story. But I cannot create the illusion in our new flat. Our old house was perfect for this matter. There were Georgian bay windows in every room, Hebrew talisman hidden in door frame. Outside the house, whistling wind blew from Valentine Park and there were halogen lights in the street hanging like orange lollipop ice cream, leaning yellow rowan tree. All I needed was to burn the midnight oil. The shadows grew dense. 100-years-old history became awakened. After deterioration of Azad's physical condition, we sold that house. Then, we moved to this new flat number -3 of Roca Court. The flat is so shiny that even a shadow does not fall. There is no cover on the furniture, no skirt in the bed cover, no unnecessary attire. The toilet is also so digitally equipped that after relieving one has to touch only the piece mark-sized silver button to flush. The waste vanishes within a second like a magic. Water does not drip. Even no such old feeble couples like us live in this cluster of 12 flats. They all are slim and trim white youngsters or couples. Among them, there is a gay couple also. Charlotte and Jemmy live together in our next flat. One looks like Julia Roberts and the other one Hugh Grant. I wonder how it happened. Their dog pair also seems like genetically modified from cinema. The doll-sized poodles are 1 foot tall. One is Miss Brown, another one is Mr. White. Miss Brown has long bushy hair in her body. Her rattan fruit-like eyes remain hidden with the hair. Cute. I feel like sweeping her hair softly and twisting them into a braid. And Mr. White's 2 legs are dark black. Jemmy goes to his office on bicycle or on the tube. After coming back, he builds triceps in the gym beside underground car park. He works as maintainer of fields in Wimbledon. Charlotte is civil engineer. But we are not supposed to know that the girl's work is related to brain and the boy's one to muscle. One day, after shifting here, when heavy snowfall was going on, we found our digital heater stopped working. On opening the machine room's door, it seemed everything set like difficult keys of harmonium. I bewildered, what to see and how to fix, then what would happen. After that, if the heater would catch fire while working. Even after studying the manual for a long time, I could not decipher anything. Then, I called Jemmy. I found the brain of that 6 feet tall body was just like mine. He made mention of Charlotte. I came to know about her profession. When she came back from office, we two entered the boiler room of that digital box. Inside, the place is so tiny that we got almost stuck. The perfume she used was organic. It smelt like peach. We usually have little conversation in the back garden. Their wooden deck is just on the other side of ours. The back garden is densely green and mysterious. On climbing the stairs adjacent to black fence there I see broad brown paved court and whistling wind of oaks, wallowing of small pear trees and peacock-seeded grass. The wind is different there. Behind, there is a foxhole under the bamboo thicket. When, at night, The fluorescent lights shine in the midst of lavender bush of the garden. The soil-rooted vertical, narrow, kiri-kiri logs seem like unbrushed teeth. But the same tree bottom again appears with mesmerizing brightness in the morning. That day, Jemmy and others made a barbecue party at that place. Enjoying of roasted meat, music, guitar and red wind continued till midnight. By that time, we, the two feeble persons, had already taken our medicines due at night and entered into the warmth of the electric blanket, putting on our sleeping suits. But I could sleep. They had long since stopped the merriment. Every Tom, Harry, Dick, Clara had bidden adieu. I heard rotating of their keys, their wishing of good night. However, then quietness settled. I decided to write. Twilight is ideal for falling in love, early morning for studying before exam, and whistling dark night for reciting poem. To start writing, I settled in the dining space and looked through the mercury-free glass on my back. It seemed that dynamite of black was exploding across the enormous oak, the small pear trees and foxhole. I got fun in this magic of black. Something must happen tonight. I got ready to edit my vignette, taking a tea mixed with saw milk. Azad fell asleep. The sound of sleeping was coming through the narrow passage. I started to raise wave on keyboard. And, from time to time, I kept watching outside through the blind rolled glass window. I was watching the outline of oak and yellow pine trees in the darkness. Creased light slanted down from the next old home. Some leftover utensils and extinguished coals on the garden could be faintly visible. I wondered how they made the fire on the ground. Now people usually use portable kiln for these. A brown used tissue paper was floating in the air like a piece of uncooked flesh. I asked myself, isn't the bulb in the garden working? Suddenly I felt something white pressed against the window beside my neck. I couldn't move my hands, legs or eyes for a while. Somehow, I managed to move and felt relaxed. It's Charlotte. She pressed her face against the window glass so hard that it seemed the face got smashed. Making clattering sound with her purple color polished nail, she was signaling me to go outside. Anyway, I found comfort. As soon as I came down on deck opening the door, she went distant under the oak tree. Climbing the stairs, I reached her. Immediately, she said, "So sorry, I lost my key." Saying so, she started to fumble in the coal and ashes. Necessarily, I also joined her. Can you imagine? It must be 3 a.m. at the back. There was dense Epping forest. The black house of old home was sleeping in the right hand. A spiky scaffolding of half-finished house was standing in the left hand. Above the head, the brown piece of flesh was floating in the air. In front, there and our flats were behind the kiri-kiri. My dining space was shining with light, theirs one was dark. In that darkness, I could see the poodle pair was jumping against the glass again and again. Ah! How the two dogs were yipping. They would have broken the glass, if they could. She whispered, "My dogs are my babies." Charlotte's makeup was not visible. But I got a sharp scent smelling like aftershave. Did she spray a new perfume today? I thought. Her dress was so red that it looked like a burning flame even in the darkness. I was searching for the key sluggishly, but she was searching so hurriedly that it seemed she would devour the soil. I didn't know if the key was of silver or yellow color, skate or narrow. Was it in ring or in bunch? I should have asked these questions before starting the search. I didn't ask. It seemed that Charlotte had glue in her body. The only important task was to accompany her. At one moment, I thought of Azad. If he would wake up and could not find me. While searching with a stick at my hand, I looked to the window. What would he think? Charlotte and I squatted on the ground in the darkness. It would not appear normal. "Are you scared?" she asked, facing the ground. But before my answer, she pleaded for her innocence, saying that she was giving me the trouble because Jemmy fell asleep. If I had not stayed awake, she should have searched the key alone in this ghostly darkness. That's it. Aha, Julia Roberts. You also worship the male counterpart. In a moment, the red jumped, saying, "Here it is." Got it, got it. She was laughing. And, leaving me in that knelt position, she started to run along the kiri-kiri. I followed but could not reach her. The scent of aftershave vanished. A sound said from distance, "Thank you." The peacock of the house behind cried in a cracked voice. Upon stepping inside, I realized how severe cold it was outside. Why would it not be? It is London. By luck, I had socks in feet and cardigan on body. Was there warm cloth on Charlotte's body? I don't think so. She only wore a sleeveless red dress. Anyway, it's their youth. They are supposed to survive in naked body even in war. I was almost shivering. The timer set heater started to spread warmth with swooshing sound. The saw milk mixed thick tea had gone cold. I must take a hot coffee. In the clock, it was 3:30 a.m. Summer morning would start a little later. While the water of coffee was getting hot in kettle, I heard the poodles were yipping. As if they were rubbing their heads on someone's lap. How crazily they were yelping a moment ago. Washing the soil from my hand, I began to work with a ghost story. I would write about unappeased soul of dog. 2 months later. Making the tea, I finished the write-up for the Daily Prothomalo. As the church bell rang, I understood it was 3 at night. I was writing on my study, listening to the music, listening sounds from surroundings with my eyes closed. I was trying to understand the sources of sense coming from different sides. Unexpectedly, that scent of aftershave reached to my nose just like that day of searching the key. I thought it was just a guess. Should I open the door to check? I have a personal game on guessing. Its name can be guessing and following. The game is all about following how much of that guessed thing would come true. I play the game in street, on train or tube. Wherever I stay, whatever position I have, keeping my eyes closed, I create a probability with the surrounding scents and sounds and with my sixth sense. I make a visual image. And, in the next moment, opening my eyes, I find out the similarities. Our front door is adjacent to my study. That door is again close to Jemmy Charlotte's door. There is the talking lift beside it. To enter the flat, one must press the code buttons or talk over intercom. I always secretly overhear the sounds like clang-clang of people's keys, click-clack of their heels and whir of wheels of trolley, and guess who come and go. I could not decide whether to open the door or not. The dogs were making noise. On tiptoe, when I looked through the spy hole, the hole seemed to be covered with red. I asked myself, what is the matter? What is she doing here in this late night? As I opened the door inserting the key, I found Charlotte fully embarrassed. In a whispering voice she said, sorry, I was about to knock. What happened? Anything wrong? No, with a sweet but embarrassed smile she asked, can you kindly do my zipper please? Sure, I said, but I was a bit surprised. Arranging and setting her hair with her left hand, she stood moving her back toward me. I would have to zip up the back zipper of her dress. Well, shouldn't Jemmy do all of her personal works? She said as if she had listened to my thought. Jemmy isn't home. It must be so. Meanwhile, their dogs had begun struggle behind their door. Charlotte whispered, my dogs are my babies. It was very tightly fitted dress, but while I was zipping it up, it didn't seem much tight. I thought, doesn't she have any bone in her body? Her body shrank into a lump while I was zipping up. When finished, the body went back to its position. Thank you, Shamim, she indicated that burnt key at her hand with her dancing eyes. Then, opening the door, she got in instantly. The dogs again started yipping. What is the matter? Is any dispute going on between them? Who knows? Let's see, this Sunday, I will have tea at their place. But before that, an incident happened yesterday. It was much hot. So, I settled in the dining space with my computer and opened the glass window and door at my back. As usual, it was late night. Before start writing, I posted a Facebook status. It is not right to consider an idea as a belief. It is big mistake. Immediately the post started getting likes. And with ringing notification, there came a message in my inbox. Tukla from Canada. That was evening there. Then, Ishita from Bangladesh. Ma, as you are not sleeping, open Skype. I want to see you. Today, I am going to the office late. Everybody knows by means of Facebook that I keep late hours. Write or whatever I do, every now and then, I make short comments on Facebook. Most of the time, these are about Azad's health condition. After opening Skype, we usually exchange greetings for some moments. That day, after greetings, she said, Ma, who is that behind your back? Samaha. Oh no. There is nobody. Samaha will come the next week. I kept the window open as it is very hot. Oh. It seemed as though someone stood there in red dress. Now, there is no one. Ah. Fie. What are you saying? It is late night, who would be here? Oh, okay. Then, finishing the conversation quickly, I jumped to close the glass door. I got up on the chair to close the window. At the moment of closing, the last bit smell of aftershave hit in my nostrils from outside. I felt afraid. Yet something irresistible dragged me to look at the garden. I saw Mr. Brown floating in the air. Every light was shining. Keeping the computer open, I ran to Azad's room. I crouched down beside him and fell asleep. Today is Sunday. Taking breakfast, I will visit Jemmy Charlotte's flat. What is the matter? When I stood up to wash my face, Azad asked from my back, what are these spots on your back? What do you mean? I am surprised. Why would there be spot? Now Azad stressed more. Hey, go to the bathroom and check in my small mirror. It seems like someone has scratched. I checked, felt strange, got good number of spots. Jemmy opened the door. The poodle couple came running. Charlotte was having a bath. She came out. I got smell of fruit. I told them everything. They did not think me crazy. Swiftly, they looked to each other and said, we must change our lock. Susan was the twin sister of Charlotte. Jemmy was Susan's boyfriend. They had started living in this flat with the 2 dogs before we shifted here. Few years back, on a 7th of July, putting on a red dress, she was on her way to office. On her way, she was killed in a terrorist bomb attack on the underground. Charlotte, then, started to visit her house to take care of her sister's dogs. They fell in love in this way and then started living together. Now, they are going to get married. They made a new key few months back, after they lost their key of the house on the party day. But, from that day, their dogs have been behaving abnormally sometimes. Household things are going haphazard. They are waking in the middle of night with the sound of coffee machine. We are really sorry, Shamim, saying that Jemmy gave me a light hug. Sorry about all that. On getting in the home, I remembered, a free post arrived at the pigeonhole few days ago. Today, this Sunday, is the open day of Holmesdale sheltered home close to the park. The pictures of their 1-bedroom flats are very fine. We have to leave this flat. Translated from Bengali by Shamil Bhattacharjee.